What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we're talking all about the differences between a pellet grill and a Kamado style cooker. Let's get into it. First off, why the heck should you listen to me? Well, let me give you a little bit of background. So I have been using a Kamado style cooker for about 9 years. I started with Kamado Joe, actually a Big Joe Series 2. Then a few years later, I bought a Kamado Big Bad 32. And then I started doing some content that was more relatable to people, and I switched back to Kamado Joe for a little while. I got myself a Series 3 Big Joe and the original Connect, the electronic one in a small classic size. And today I'm using a Kamado 38-inch, identical to the 32, except for we got a little bit more size. Works the same, just gives me a little bit more room. I have somewhere between 300 and 400 cooks on those guys. Now, when it comes to a pellet grill, I've used a couple Traegers over the years. Many years ago, that was my first, look at a pellet grill, probably 20 years ago now. And then, back then I decided it wasn't for me. Then about 5.5 years, I got myself a Yoder, and in the last 5.5 years, I have over 500 cooks on my Yoder. And full disclaimer, if you had asked me to before I had a YouTube channel, before I was doing content, and you came up and you said, hey, should I buy a pellet grill? I would have told you absolutely not. What a waste of money. Times have changed. Today, what I can do on my pellet grill is night and day difference than where I started and what I thought was possible. However, there are some pros and cons to each, right? So let's start what the differences are. On a pellet grill, we're gonna use pellets. These guys right here, these are just compressed wood that is in the shape of pellets. If you buy a good brand, it's 100% wood. Some brand mix some stuff in there, some oils and stuff like that. You want to always use a good quality pellet, because pellets are not only your fuel source, you want to be able to get up to high temperatures if your particular pellet grill can actually sear, which the Yoder can, and you want to be able to have some good smoke quality, and the only way to do that is to start with a quality pellet. On the other side, we have lump. So a Kamado style cooker does not use those briquettes. We use lump charcoal. And actually, Bear Mountain Barbecue just came out with their own lump charcoal. I have not even tried it yet, but I opened the bag because we're going to use it in another video here. But you can see it's a mixed bag of pieces, right? Lump charcoal burns hotter and longer than briquettes. So you always want to use that inside of a Kamado cooker. But essentially, we're wood-fired versus charcoal. That's your primary difference there. So let's talk about the core differences between the two. So when pellet grills came out originally, Traeger was the one to bring them to market. They had a little dial on them, and you could set your temperature, but what they did is, depending on where that temperature was, it fed more pellets and moved the auger a little faster. There was no intelligence there. Fast forward to today, we have an app for our phone, we've got digital displays, we've got probes inside of the pit to monitor temperature, and we have what's called a PID controller. And what it's doing is it's monitoring the temperature and using an algorithm. They're all different, but what it's doing is it's calculating the temperature and how many pellets it needs to keep at a temperature, right? Now, there is always going to be some temperature swing on a pellet grill. I don't care what brand you have, if it's not showing you pellet temperature swing, it's lying to you. And I've seen it firsthand. So this is a live fire, and there's no calculation for whether you're using Bear Mountain pellets or another brands or whatever. They're all different shapes and sizes, so it uses algorithms to try and get to your temperature. On the Kamado style, we're using lump, and if we want some wood, we add some wood chunks into it. But what we're doing there is, think of this like a upgraded Weber kettle. It's all about airflow. So you have a little bit of air coming in the bottom vent, you open up the top vent, and the more airflow you have going through there, the hotter it gets. And the way that we lock in temperatures there is we wait until we got the right amount of airflow, and then all of a sudden we're able to lock our Kamado in at 250, whatever temperature we want, for extended periods of time, depending on the brand of Kamado you got. what kind of lump you're using. Now, much like I said about pellets, do not skimp on lump charcoal. If you buy cheap lump, it's not going to burn very well, right? Number one, it's not going to get as hot for a long period of time. You want to sear some steaks, you want to do some pizzas or whatever, it's going to run out of steam very, very quickly. Additionally, you're going to have some ups and downs in your temperature, which is very frustrating. And I would say the final thing is that you're just not going to get very good fuel mileage, right? The one thing that you'll see is that if you buy a very expensive brand of lump versus the cheaper brand, if you do the math over how much you go through and how many bags you're going to go through, the premium lump will always win. It will cost you less money in the long run. So let's talk functionality. Now, both of these guys will cold smoke. What's cold smoke? Cold smoking is typically under 200, unless you're talking about cheeses and stuff, and then you're under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the way that we do that on the Yoder is we light a pellet tube, we fill it full of pellets, we use a torch, we light it up, and we let that smoke go, and then I turn it on, I turn on the fans, and the smoke goes through the unit without it actually operating and burning a fire. On the Kamado, what I do is I do the same thing, we just open up the vents and let the smoke go through it. Kamado also has a cold smoke generator that you can use, and what we do is we light it up, we use an aquarium pump to keep it going, and it will put in nice clean smoke in there. Then you get into smoking. So 200 to 275 traditional ranges for smoking. You can always add wood at higher temperatures and get some smoke flavor there, but traditionally we're 225 or 275, right? Both these are going to do that well. What does it better? I think that's a loaded question, really. If you had asked me even 4 years ago, I would have said that a Kamado will walk away with that all day long because I can put a bunch of wood chunks in it. But since I started using a pellet tube, I've really been able to amp this up. So the one thing I'll tell you is not all pellet grills are created equal. There are some more inexpensive ones that the algorithms are not the same, so they're not producing as much smoke. So I would say that the Kamado has a slight edge, but it's not nearly as far as it once was. As long as you put the work in to learn how to use it, you use a smoke tube, maybe use some wood chips in there, stuff like that to help add to the wood, but they're pretty darn close. Then you get into grilling, and here's where we really start to see a difference. Now, my Yoder can go up to 600 degrees at the temperature setting. Lots of times it's way over that, especially if you use grill grates, it'll get up to like 800. On a Kamado, you can go as high as you want, right? I've steered at 900 degrees, no problem, right? The difference is that on a pellet grill, you've got this little small, tiny area. On a Kamado style cooker, you can fill the whole thing up with lump or just half of it with lump, and you've got a huge area to work with, right? I will also say that when it comes to a steak, I don't like it on a pellet grill. Lots of people do. I don't like it. I don't like it. It ends up with a little bit of a weird flavor, and I don't really like the sear of it. If I'm going to do a steak, I'm going to do it on my my Kamado any day, right? Now, other things like chicken. The reason why I have so many more cooks on my pellet grill is because during the week, I love the fact that I can just turn this thing on, set it at 450, go in, get out of my suit, make myself a rum and coke, and wait for it to preheat, and then I'll just take chicken, I'll throw it right over top, and there's no direct flame contact. So what happens there is we've got a diffuser plate there, and it's getting hot, so we're getting lots of radiant heat, so I can still get a little char and sear on my chicken. I don't have to babysit it. And I know from experience that depending on how thick my chicken breasts are, I can set it at 450, let it preheat for a while, and throw them on for 10 minutes, walk away, come back 10 minutes later, flip them, and let them go for another 5 to 10 minutes. And you can do that with fully marinated or dry chicken, whatever you want, but when I'm coming home, I don't want to fill around with stuff. So I do that a lot with pork chops and chicken. You know, smoked burgers are good. I think that they both make a great smoked burger. And the traditional grilling, the challenge with a Kamado is that you need something like a Grill Blazer grill gun, which I have. Got a 1 pound propane tank here, and this guy throws out a flame this long that's super hot. And I can get this guy going in about 15 minutes. With this, I can get the grilling temperatures quicker than I can with my pellet grill. The challenge is I've got to put a bunch of lump in there, I've got to light it up, I got to wait, and I got to just mess around with it. And during the week, unless it's a super nice day and I'm home a little earlier, I'm going to use my pellet grill all day long. The next thing that we have is pizza. So both of these will do high temperature cooks, and I would say 90% of the pellet grills on the market, when it comes to pizza, they make a mediocre pizza at best. Kamados make a phenomenal pizza. I always joked with friends, hey, I'm gonna make a pizza that's so good it's gonna require a fine glass of red wine. And I have wowed a ton of different people with the pizza that comes off a Kamado style cooker. You raise up your stone and you cook it in the dome and you get a great tasting pizza. It's got a little of that charcoal flavor, so it's something different. And you know, 3 years ago, I would say the Kamado would walk away with this hands down. Now, about 2 years ago or so, the Yoder came out with a wood-fired oven. And the wood-fired oven, it opens up the firebox and this flame comes over the top, and I can actually do a true Neapolitan-style pizza. Gets up to like 750 degrees, and you actually get a lot of really good top-down cooking, where in a Kamado you don't do that. So I would say if you were looking at a Yoder or something like that, yes, it can do pizzas a little bit better when it comes to Neapolitan style pizzas, but any other pizza, they're neck and neck. I would say the benefit to a Kamado is that we've got more areas, so you could do a couple small pizzas instead of just one at a time. Overall, it really depends what you're cooking. So if we look at smoking meats in general, my pellet grill brisket has the edge over a Kamado brisket. This has a lot more convection, a lot more airflow over there, and I think it builds a better bark. Flavor-wise, they're both very, very good. When it comes to like roasted chicken, they're neck and neck, with the exception that if I want to do a direct fire one and I want to have all that fat dripping in the lump, that's tough to beat. It really is. It adds some amazing flavor. Also on my 38, I did a video where I did 3 rotisserie chickens. You're not doing that on this guy. Now, Yoder just came out with a rotisserie. I think you could probably do 2 chickens on it, but you're going to get some indirect heat and some smoke flavor, but you're not going to get the fat dripping into the lump the way that you have on a Kamado. So, I'm going to say that you can cook some better chicken on a Kamado style cooker. Smoked turkey, definitely the Kamado. Lack of airflow. I find when you do it on the Yoder, you end up with a thicker skin on the top. Even though you remove the skin, that top layer of meat is not as tender as it is on a Kamado style cooker. Pulled pork, pork butt, whatever you want to call it, neck and neck. Ribs, neck and neck. That's probably it for smoking. I mean, yes, you can smoke turkeys and all that, which I do all the time. I usually use my Kamado to do a turkey, because I always do a big turkey. My wife loves lots of stuffing, so we buy a way bigger turkey than the 2 of us need, and we have a whole bunch of leftovers. But there's some of the differences between the two. So I talked a little bit about this earlier, but when do I use each of these? So for me personally, I generally don't get home till 6 or so. During the week, I always go to my pellet grill. I just like the ease of it. I've had a very busy day and I don't want to mess with anything else. I just like the ability to turn it on. And the other thing is that when you turn it off, it just stops pellets, so you use as little bit of fuel, as little fuel as you can. Whereas on a Kamado style cooker, you've got to snuff out the fire. So it's still going to burn for a little bit. You can, however, reuse your lump on the next cook if you want, and you should, because you'd just be wasting it. Once it's been used a little bit, it does not burn quite as hot as fresh lump. And if we're looking at from a cost perspective, I'm going to say that a pellet grill is more expensive to run than a Kamado style cooker. It takes a lot of pellets to burn, especially when you're going up for like grilling temperatures. When you're doing smoking temperatures, they're probably pretty close. I've never actually done a comparison. I'm not sure how I would go about a comparison, but if you want to see something like that, put a comment down below and I'll figure something out. But from grilling, you go through some pellets, right? Whereas this guy, you go through some lump, but I think the lump gives you a little bit more mileage. It is not going to be like a gas grill, right? Gas grills, definitely, you get a 20-pound tank and you're good for 9-10 hours, depending on the size of your gas grill. You know, if I want to do, if it's the weekend, it all comes down to what I'm cooking. If I want steak, it's going on that, guys. If I'm in a hurry and I want to do some grilling, chicken, burgers, sausages, or something like that, it's going to go on that guy. If it's sausages, honestly, it's going to go on my gas grill because it's super quick. But, you know, if I'm just trying to do some straight grilling, I'm typically going to go to the Kamado because the pellet grill has this very small area and it's very high intense flame. It's good for searing, but not really good for like grilling right over it. With the little caveat is I've got a couple of videos out there where I did some chicken or something like that, and I put it up on the top shelf and I made a bigger distance between the flame and the meat, and it turned out some really good food. I've got a couple chicken videos that I'll link to one up here that you'll appreciate if you're into pellet grills, because you can make some banging chicken on them. You know, overall, if you're in the market and you're trying to decide between the two, I think it really comes down to, number one, are you a technology junkie? You know, there are people out there that really are passionate about technology. I work in technology. We do outsourced help desk support for businesses. So, you know, I love technology. So a pellet grill is appealing to me because now I got an app on my phone, I can see it on my watch, and I can go away never worrying about temperature and let a brisket or pork butt go all day and constantly check temperatures on my watch. Now you can buy some third-party thermometers and do the same thing on a Kamado, but you've got a little bit more of an investment there. The pellet grill is for someone who maybe has a bunch of kids or a child and just doesn't want the fuss. You want to be able to turn it on, you want to be able to set your temperature, maybe you want to add some more smoke with the pellet too, but other than that, you don't want to mess with it, right? You want to be able to turn on some good quality food for your family, friends, but you just don't want to spend any more time beyond it. A Kamado style cooker requires a little bit more work. Now, once the temperature's dialed in, it's pretty good, but you've got to add some more wood chunks, right? This is how we get smoke on a Kamado style cooker, right? We add little chunks of wood. Oops, sorry, Corky. Right, so we add these into our fire and that's how we get smoke. So you can burn through these and have to add some more smoke. If you don't add more smoke, you're not going to get a super smoky result like you would on a pellet grill because the pellet's going to give smoke all the time. But it's for someone who likes to tinker a little bit more and does a lot of grilling. That's really a big differentiator for me. You know, the next step above that is an offset. Someone who just loves to be outside, having a beer, in my case a rum and coke, adding a new split every 30 minutes, and you know, it's this experience that you're right in the middle of and you're in full control over it. A Kamado starts to give you more of that. So it really depends on you. I don't think you can go wrong with either. I think both of them do a great job. Both of them have their pros and cons. But you know, think of everything that I've kind of talked about here and use that as ammunition to figure out which one's best for you. Look, if you've got a specific question about the two, you want my opinion on them, drop them in the comments down below. I answer every single comment out there. I've answered, you know, I don't know at this point, I think somewhere around 30,000 comments. So I answer them all. Drop it down below and I'll be happy to kind of share my thoughts. And with that being said, I will give you a video on each, a pellet grill and a Kamado style video, so you can continue your journey and hopefully you're making some amazing backyard barbecue soon.